Welcome to today's installment of Progress Not Perfection. It is, Tuesday, September the 9th, 2025. I've got a 16 by 20 here on the easel today, and I'm going to do a practice run of one that's called Lazy River. Got a class coming up, not this Saturday, but next Saturday down in the Villages, actually 2 classes. So, man, I get so excited before classes. I just love to paint the one that we're going to go through a couple of times just so it's fresh on my brain and I can kind of just feel how it flows. So we're going to dive right in with liquid white. I'm going to use a 2-inch brush. And, one of the things I wanted to do when even thinking about and considering putting videos out like this, as I enjoy doing this and love to paint and all of that, is I just want to be real with people. And I may not have a lot to say today. I don't know. I just having one of those kind of days. A little bit yesterday. Man, it was very, very, very important that I painted yesterday. So that was really a powerful, good experience. But anyway, that was great. And this season of life is tough. And anyway, lots on my mind, but not many words to come out. So what do you do then? Well, thankfully, I've had a lot of great people just be. Not necessarily anything to do or say, or nothing needed. Just being. Maybe not even being immediately in the same area or spot, but anyway. I'm learning things about myself and life and just experiencing things that are certainly different and revealing and new to me and extraordinarily educational. So many of them I'm so grateful, even extreme difficulty or unbelievable difficulty of the lesson. I am indeed grateful. So there's some liquid white. I actually do have a little more than I want, so I'm going to show you how we remedy that. First thing we do is put more paint on there. We freak out, we pant, we slam our brushes down, we get mad, we throw the canvas. No, that's not what we do. When we get too much paint on there, we fold up a paper towel. And we just gently either go horizontally or vertically. Just do this gently. I take off a little paint. I'm barely touching it. I don't know if it's loud or not in the microphone. But if you push hard with a paper towel against a canvas, you'll just wind up making some fuzz on the canvas because the canvas is much, much stronger than the paper towel. I don't care. That's not my favorite way to do it. That's a way to do it. My favorite way to do it is put less liquid white on first and not have to take any off. Here's the way I actually do it. The times I do get too much paint on there, I just hold a paper towel on the surface of the canvas and then rub a pretty clean paintbrush on this side of it. It just lets the paper towel pick up a little bit of paint without actually rubbing it against it. And you don't have to do it everywhere. It's just where you had too much paint. I'm just kind of doing it everywhere. Just sometimes this feels good. Kind of feels good to take it down to the base layer and start fresh. Well, that's kind of deep if you heard that. I heard that. Talking to myself, I mean. Ain't right. Let's go back. Make sure the problem has been rooted out. And let's proceed. Oftentimes that problem was something so tiny, but it was there for so long, man. That's what we're looking for. I don't know if that stays in focus, if I can hold my hand very still. You can still see the lines in my fingerprints without the pads just going completely whited out. So let's put a lid on the liquid white jar there. Always keep baby wipes handy. They take oil paint right off your fingers. I don't like to get a lot of paint on me when I paint. Some people get covered in paint. Guess what I think's the right way to do it? The way you do it. That's the right way for you to do it. Take this Band-Aid off real quick. I had to go get my routine blood test thing because of the blood thinner that I have to take. Thank goodness it was discovered to take, because my choices and behaviors led to the problem that gave me the blood clot in the first place. So I'm very glad the blood thinner was invented, and there's such wonderful people in the lab. I get to go do that. Anyway, so my blood thinner number way too high, so have to eat a salad and moderate the dosage. But I don't like getting paint on that Band-Aid either. So let's have a sip of coffee. Decaf today. And we're going to dive right into phthalo blue. Let's put some blue in the sky. Yeah, let's use a 2-inch brush for that. I really will go towards the size canvas that we're going to use in a particular class, and the same brushes, because I'll have everything prepared. I don't know why I'm telling you the kind of stuff I do behind the curtain for classes, but here I am telling you. So anyway, I like to use the same size canvas, have the same brushes on my palette or on my setup here at home, so I'm practicing what we're going to do in class, just so just try to recreate or anticipate what's going to happen. Man, I get so excited because looking at the roster, there's always a couple of names, sometimes as many as half. Gosh, we've even had as many as 2/3 recently. People have taken other classes before, so I recognize their names, and I just get excited because, of course, I take it as a compliment that they're coming back to take another one of my classes because they're paying for it. But I get so excited thinking about, I hope they're falling in love with it like I did, and they're going to get stuff to paint at home or show their friends or share it with somebody. I don't know. It just gets exciting because it's like it goes forward, and I just got to be one of the dominoes in the sequence or the links in the chain, and to think I got to touch somebody else with painting. It's cool. So let's do some blue in the sky. Don't have to do a lot of sky in this one. This one is more reflection and about a river. Oh, it's just wonderful. Really just do kind of this top area. And you can work just from one of the corners across the top. I like to sort of drift down a little bit. This changes for me as my mood changes as I'm painting. Different times of day, different scene in mind when I'm starting. But generally speaking, we're going to work from one corner to the other and towards the horizon, because that's just going to naturally work with the liquid white we've got on the canvas, the blue we have on our brush that we're kind of running out of. And we'll just let it get lighter, lighter, lighter as we're coming down here. I'm going to grab a little more paint. I want to darken that a little bit. If you've seen any of our other videos, you know I step out of frame a lot. I need to see it from outside of that bright light. Ah, a question. Probably keeping you up at night. If it has been, I'm sorry. Don't want to be slow to answer anything, but the very pressing question that I want to be certain that we answer to everyone's satisfaction is my hat selections. Just because my head's cold all the time. I was not gifted with those weeds so many of you keep so nicely mowed and directed on your scalps. God made my head perfectly shaped so it doesn't have all that covering on it. But then it gets cold, as refrigerated as we keep our houses and such inside. So I just choose to keep my dome covered because I'm cold. It's kind of become a thing. I didn't mean for it to. I literally, on this side of my 8-day hospital stay and consumption of alcohol leaving my life, I lost a lot of weight and I get cold. That's really the truth of the matter. And let's just bring this middle down to about here. We just want the middle a little bit lower than the sides on this one. Nothing crazy, doesn't really matter because we're going to cover up a lot of that with our beautiful trees and such. Great. So let's give this a good wipe out on the brush. Give our sky just a softening blend. I'm not going to go through the entire cleaning procedure with paint thinner. You certainly can. You've got a good setup to do that. And you like to, by all means. I don't find it necessary to do the painting still in a way I'm happy with. I moved my cleaning station. It used to be right over on the wall just to my right, but it's actually out in the garage now. Even though my smell and all is still pretty gone from having COVID 4 years ago, I recognize that other people still can smell. And so paint thinner and strong paints like that are out in the garage. So let's put in, now in class we'd be using a 1-inch brush there on both. Let's keep our 2-inch brush. I love the 2-inch brush. So we're going to use some brown. Oh, and we'll put in some green. I'm going to make a dark color, so we'll have some good stuff to highlight on some underneath colors for some foliage on this river I've described to you. So I'm getting quite a bit of dark paint loaded into my brush so that off here in the middle, I can just decide where our trees live, and I can just go, boop, there's our first bushy kind of thing back there on this first little area of today's masterpiece. Oh, let's have a few come this way. That's the fun thing about this one, because your river will always change and be different. And oh, you can tell they're related. They're even fun to have kind of a few of them set up in a row, because it kind of looks like it's moving down if you're in a kayak or a boat or something. I did mean to tuck a little something over here so that I could see something out of frame, but you could not. Just kind of my notes, so excuse me for stepping away there. But we'll just get that first little bit in there, kind of take a step back and look. decide what we're going to do, because this one just happens in a few steps. This one's so cool. If you ever want to practice one that is sort of the same couple of steps and then repeated, this would be a very good one, because we didn't do very much sky there. You saw me do those background trees, and we're going to turn this into our river coming this way, but it's going to be this. We'll put in a few tree trunks. We'll put in a few highlights. We'll put in the river part for the reflection. Then we're going to do the same steps here. It'll look closer to us and push that one back. So you'll see it. It's going to be the same doot, 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 you know, just like that. So Bob has an interesting way, in my opinion, of doing the land in this one, in the show. I'm going to show you how he does it. It's not my preferred way of doing it, so I'm just going to do it this once. But I always want to, you know, pay respect where the inspiration came from. My goodness. So he has the roll of paint for the dirt on the top of the knife, and then pulls it up in this one. Obviously, it works. It's totally a way to do it. It's just not my preferred way. It doesn't feel good in my hand necessarily, so I don't continue to do it that way. I just want to show it to you. It's a way. Certainly isn't wrong. It's right because it works. If you would prefer to do them down, it works just as well. It's just going to give you a little different finished product. So just be ready for doing it whichever way. And we're going to put highlights on those in just a second. Waterline. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I know it looks like a main thing right now. Just not anything to worry about. So let's use a little bit of, we're going to pick up just a whisper of white, a little bit of dark sienna, a little bit of some brown. There's probably a little green in it because it's where I dragged my brush through it, but it's just so it's not as dark a brown as brown could be. We just want to sneak in a few tree trunks in here. Wherever you want to start one. I just have some paint on both sides of my fan brush. I'm just going to use a corner of the fan brush and pull in a tree trunk. Now that was way fatter than I meant for it to be, so we'll cover up a bunch of that one. I pushed way too hard. Sometimes that happens. So I'm going to sharpen my brush back up, go back in here, and pull a lot gentler, just to get smaller tree trunks. I'm not ready for them to be quite so large. Not so big. Just settle down there, little Thunder Dan. Way too strong a punch there. All right, so we're going to go right into the highlights here on some of those back trees. So we're going to grab a clean 1-inch brush, a little bit of liquid white, just so it's nice and thinned down. And what color should we make these? Let's make them nice green trees. Huh? So we'll put some liquid white off to the side. I'm going to pick up some sap green on this brush. And we're just going to have it kind of vary. It's going to be a little lighter because it's got some white in it, but I do want some dark because, trees often beautiful. Dark green leaves, some lighter for sure. So just getting into the consistency that feels good at the end of my brush. Almost, to me, it's like just about to melt butter. So still on just the room temperature side, but not quite melted butter. Pulled it in one direction, so it's got this nice curved edge. I was pulling it towards me on my palette. Curved edge goes up. So I can just lean in gently with this corner and put in one tree or one cluster of branches at a time. Go back and pick up a little, just reset the color on my brush. It's going to vary the color a little bit because I want some independence between these two trees. We'll put something grassy down below them, so there's going to be something, ground covery here. But we definitely want these to look independent and separate from one another. That is certainly important. So step back slowly. We can do that through color variation. We can do that with leaving dark darker colors between things. All kinds of ways to get there. We can add a little bit of yellow. It'll just change the flavor of our green, of course. I do have blue on my palette, so we're going to, of course, we use blue in the sky so that we can use that to make another wonderful green. Now, if I have another color capture and go in front of some of that, see how it just tucked the edge of that darker tree back? It does it automatically for you. It's the sequence, it's the process we're using. Do the steps in order, and the result will work. If we don't do the steps in order, we're not giving it a chance to work for us. We got to think about one little bush, little tree thing, little cluster of foliage, whatever it is that we're making. It's just, let's just do the little one at a time. So we can get really crazy and caught up in the whole thing. I've certainly done that many a times, and you hopefully will too. That is a great feeling. All right, so what do my notes say? Oh yes, let's do reflection from underneath, and then we'll get some good ground cover on there. Before we do reflection, let's make a pretty little sand color, dark sienna, little Dyke brown, little titanium white, just to make it streaky. It's almost got a red hue to it a little bit. And let's just kind of pull in some kind of highlight. What do you want to make? You want to make a little kind of ledgy clay erosion things that sort of just drop off back there? Those kind of look cool, huh? So just however that looks in your head, just make it so don't overdo it. I'm going to come back and just kiss a few of those areas in another way, just so it darkens a few areas. We don't want it to be too bright, not too bright. Not too bright too fast. And some of those areas strike me that way. We'll grab some of that and make it use your words, Dan. Use your words. Reflection. Sometimes you just got to let the record player hit the skip and then reset. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. All right, so we'll just darken up a few of these little pockets in here. They're just a little too bright. Just a little too bright. I was a solid student. Never accused of being too bright, though. Oh, have some fun with that. Crazy thing is, I was a pretty good student at one time. So let's just decide, where are we making reflections out of this? So we're going to pull all this down right here, just right there at the edge of our, pull it down gently, 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 right at the edge of that. Gently, gently, gently. Gently, gently. You'll pick up some paint on that brush. I love to keep a paper towel handy just so I can wipe out any paint I picked up. And now ever so gently, just making that turn watery. Feels good. Did you see it happen? Go the other way, super, super gently. See how I just turned the brush 90 degrees instead of this way? Sometimes I like it very, very gently. Go so gently that you barely, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but of course there's no way this is 1,000% level, that every hair of this brush is the same perfect length. I only am trying to hit the canvas with the tallest ones when I'm doing reflection. That's kind of the thought I have. It just helps my brain get out of the way of, oh, Dan, don't screw this up. Oh, Dan, don't doink the bank. All these negative thoughts in my head. And it just helps me go gently. And look what happens. It just turns into water. And you can keep going if you'll go gently. You can soften this to any degree of just subdued reflection. And, oh, man, step back and just enjoy it. Whew, it feels good. So let's tuck ourselves in. Just the idea, and I mean just the idea, of a tiny water edge. I don't really want a water line back there, because this is a very slow moving river we've got. So let's just define where our water is kissing the edges of our rocks there. How good does that feel? Whoo, baby. That's nice. Keep those level, even though they change height as they come up and down your, anyway, you just got to feel that. Sometimes you get tired of saying the same thing. Even as the teacher. Man. Oh, I forgot another fan brush. You probably wearing this microphone. I don't know if you notice it, but I notice it when my tummy grumbles. I can hear it on the video when we play it back. Oh, let's put some little flowery, grassy color things, just a different color. You know what? Let's grab some liquid white, so we'll make a nice thin color. Let's grab some yellow, and we're going to make our own green, so it's going to be totally different than sap green. So I'm grabbing cad yellow, some phthalo blue, and we're just going to work them back and forth until until I see a green that I like here on my palette. I really do want to get a camera down here on the paints. When I watch people paint, I really enjoy getting to see what their palette looks like. Not to copy colors. I just like to see how their brain works, and maybe they're going to do it a way that it's going to make new sense to me. I love scoring ideas like that. I just think that's really cool. So I want to be able to help you guys, you boys and girls, with that. We'll get there. We'll get there. Things on the horizon, right? Okay, there's some colors. So I've just got green mush. I made a bunch of green onto my fan brush here, and I'm just going to push so these bend up. Make a few little grassy clusters up back here under this tree, a few on some of these rocks. Don't let them overtake the world. This is another supporting character in our beautiful wood scene, and we're just making the idea. I like to change the pressure in my hand just so it's slightly different, and then we're going to move on. So here we go. We've got section 1, and so what we're going to do is essentially we're going to repeat it over here, and we're also going to repeat it coming this way. The cool thing is, by doing this side, it'll feel like our river goes off out of frame that way, and we can let it continue to come this way. It really is just magical. It's so much fun. Let's keep going. Got our dark brush. Keep loading up with dark. And that, remember, was just brown. And did I put dark sienna in it? No, not dark sienna in this. This is brown and sap green. So when we come in with our darks, we're again just going to push, push, push. We need those wispy, little, branchy things to just open and flower out for us. We've just got to push them. Don't let that brush slide. You'll feel it. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's a little bit tricky as you get the thick paint to stick on top of a lighter paint behind it, so it might take 2 layers like it just did me. Don't fight it. Let that happen for you. That is okay. Now here on this side, I like to have a little bit of a kind of a peninsula feel, and then have this one go up. To me, it just helps sell this idea that it goes back behind the corner there. That as this comes forward, I think you'll probably be able to see that a little bit better as I kind of clear out of the way here. So we're just going to build in these trees. We're going to pick individuals out and highlight them. But this is giving us our dark underneath. And, let's keep the height on that one kind of going up, tucking over that. I'm going to have to step back and make sure I can straighten my head up and look at this one, straight on. Let's get a little better, sharper, dark definition here. Ooh, that's better. That's better. That's what we're looking for there. That makes more sense, doesn't it? There we go. So there's first repetition there. That's just our dark underneath. So what were our steps? We can do them in the exact same order. Here we can actually vary them. Every now and then, I like to do the reflection at this point, just to get it in there. Because we start messing with a bunch of stuff, we might not be able to get back in there and get it that same way we wanted. So you don't have to do that. That's just my preference. I'm not going to grab a lot. I'm just going to start with a little right out here. And we don't have to go crazy far, because I know we're going to keep bringing land in here. So let's just get a little bit. We'll have a little bit of reflection. And if we want to add some more as we do our other steps, we certainly can. No problem. No problem at all. So what are our other steps? We need some tree trunks in there. Let's get a little bit bolder. See how we snuck and hid that big fat one? You can still see a great big fat tree trunk in there if you remember from the beginning and see it, but that'd be just kind of fun to remember, in my humble opinion. You know something, insider info about the painting itself. How cool is that? But I still want kind of skinny tree trunks, so we're just going to maybe pull in a little bit of that one there. Maybe there's part of one we can see back there. Think about your forest. What do you know? How do trees grow? How much of any one tree can you see if you go outside wherever you are right now? Maybe there's not a lot of trees. Well, look one up online. Say hello. Nothing wrong with that. Just have some. We're not ready for details. We're going to put some big trees closer to us. We got those couple of darks on the left side of our frame. Let's go ahead and tuck in some tree trunks there while we're doing it. A little more paint on the brush. Maybe we can see a little bit more of that one. Maybe we got a little stronger tree. Some kind of foliage. I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? I don't. Does it matter? I don't think so. Oh, and maybe we'll have one that comes right there. Totally fine. Totally fine. So now let's get our colors. Want to keep going on green? Okay, me too. Let's keep going on green. Grab a little more yellow, a little bit more liquid white, a little more sap green. Ooh, that's a nice variation. Nice. Start a little lighter. We can always add and make darker with this as we're doing it this way. Super, super easy. Let's start right up here at the top. Bang. Beautiful highlights. One branch cluster at a time. One branch cluster at a time. I love being able to see this little bit of blue dancing between these areas here. In my brain, and I think this is just how we're wired, it just totally feels like this corner, and we haven't even really finished this here, and I already see it there. When it just feels like it goes, man, just enjoy that. I think that's really cool. And that's the gospel according to Dan. Or feeling like you're going around the bend. Maybe some of those treetops are of trees that are on their way back to the circle of life to aid in the beginning portion that may be occurring for another organism, perhaps. That's okay. That happens in nature, doesn't it? Everything will punch its ticket. And we'll all know the other side, won't we? Leave some of these dark areas. They are your friends. They're the separators. They give you depth and distance. Let's get ourselves some ground feel. Darken a little bit from where we were back there in the back with that kind of redder feel to it. I don't want it that red up here at the front. Don't mind it back there in the distance. I just don't want it to be the main thing up here. We kind of want this to be coming a little bit more oomph of the painting up here. Even make this a really cool kind of feel of a kind of washout area, if you like that at all. Pull some of that down like that. And we'll have a lot of that covered up here shortly. Good stuff there. Let's dance in a little bit of highlight. Let's use a little brighter highlight. We'll use just a straighter white on some of this. Maybe that's getting some really bright light there, right on that edge. Just barely disappears. Yeah, we're going to have to pull some of that sharpness down. That's just a little too bright, in my humble opinion, for what we'd be seeing right there. But that's okay. That's okay. Gotta start, right? Let's use our little edge of our knife. No paint. No paint. Just going to knock down some of these brighter underneath ones. Just knocking it down. Just a little too bright. Super soft. No pressure. Oh, you got to be gentle. Oh, I could really destroy if I'm not careful. Don't want to destroy. Don't want to destroy. Just interrupt anything that disturbs your eye. That's all we're doing. Just gently pull here and there. Soft. I just don't like these sharp edges to be seen. That's all. So let's get ourselves some of our little grassy, bushy things in. We'll put a little bit of a highlight over them. But let's have a little bit of fun little grassy, flowery folks out here on our little curvy rock thing. How about that? Leave some of that dark area. Don't get so crazy you cover it all up. You need it. We need it. Need those variations. Need the variations, don't we? All right, let's keep on going. Keep on going. We've got our green highlights, making this a little darker, a little bit darker. Because to me, this stuff closer down here towards the ground would just be a little bit more, well, I don't know, kind of a hardy, coarse, rough kind of bush. I don't know why. Just felt that way. Judging a book by its cover there, Dan. Maybe that's not what you should do. Maybe we'll make a little brighter one as its neighbor. How about that? Ooh, what a fun little fuzzball that turned out to be, huh? Cool. I'm digging that side. All right. Well, because we're going to bring something in. Don't worry about this little pocket here. We're going to have a little something carry in right in here to hold up a couple of great, awesome trees for us. But we're going to go left, and we're going to start kind of bringing in a yellower and orangier, almost like this one can become fall as it gets right on top of us, is kind of the feel that I was first exposed to this painting in. So I really like kind of directing that, especially this time of year. I just think it's kind of cool. And people don't necessarily expect it in class. I don't describe class necessarily that way as a great fall scene, but it's sort of just, it just starts happening on and for people. So let's grab a little yellow, little crimson, very little crimson at this point, just trying to kiss over to a peachy, orangey, just not stark bright yellow color just yet. All right, so here's a nice mix. There's a nice mix glob of, all kinds of different colors. So let's just pick one. Ooh, well, that's bright and fall-y already, isn't it? Gracious. Beautiful. Pick a few of those little branches. Let's reset the color on our highlight brush here. A little more yellow, a little more crimson, a little more liquid white. Just getting it reset. This is another bright color. That's okay. I've got green on one side of my yellow, and I'm trying to get this from the other without getting green. That's why I'm so deliberately slow and painfully slow at this moment. Sorry about that. So let's keep a good portion of that dark there. But we'll just kind of pop this color off this way. It's just a little firecracker of a tree happening there. There, we can leave that one like that. That one's pretty fun. All right, well, let's pull down a little bit of reflection from here to set its edge, and then we're going to do our last section coming this way. That's what I did. I just used up my last clean brush for that moment. That's okay. There we go. There we go. We'll have the shoreline on this side starting to become kind of a little bit more direct, just a little bolder. It helps the feeling of it being much closer to us quickly as well. And you'll see that as we just kind of make it taller from here to here, it feels like it's coming this way. Don't really need to cover all the dark up. It's kind of like a mountain. You just need the dark underneath. That's all you really need. Thank you, Brown. So where are we going to go next? Let's kind of bring in our dark this way. We'll get our more dark ready for action over there. Yeah, that feels good. Feels good. I've spread a lot of my color out, so I'm going to just snow plow it back together, bulldoze it, whatever you like to think of it as. Get some of this moved over here as well. There we go. There we go. Whoops. It's funny when you change your setup a little bit, you get yourself all out of sorts. It's like you're doing it again for the first time. It's okay. We're just going to bring in something dark to highlight. We're going to just bring in something dark to highlight. Let's see. I'm going to step back. I'm also going to peek at my little notes there. I just am going to bring this out a little bit to about there. And we're going to just keep bringing this around. I want to be able to bring in some reflection there real quick. So let's do that before we get too ahead of ourselves. Oh, we'll just pull through that one and reset that corner a little bit. Yeah, we're going to bring that actually all the way forward. So let me make sure I'm not going to completely lose the entire canvas there. I'm going to put a couple of screws. I'm not sure. There's definitely good ways to get the canvas to hold. I just haven't modified this part of this particular easel just yet to make that a little easier. And we're just going to bring this part of our river. Oh, let's bring it all the way to about there. And this dark is just going to give us some great ground foliage to kind of start with a place to highlight real nice. This is better there. There we go. Let's feel like it just held it better. Good. Sorry about that. A little more dark. A little more dark. Oh, let's give ourselves just a little different shapes there. I love putting a little something above the reflection we just did like that, just to set it down in there. I just think that's so cool. Ooh, I almost forgot. I did forget to that point to do the land there, didn't I? we'll sneak out some more. Good stuff there. All right, let's get a little water line against our back part of our riverbank there, and keep coming forward. This is a good painting type scene to practice the sequence of the steps. As you saw me just forget to put the dirt under here, I'm going to have to do some kind of dance here at this corner. Whatever we put, I'm going to have to remember to put something else on top of it. So it's just, if you forget something, okay. Go back and put it in if you can, if you feel like it. If it totally messes it up, cool. I bet you learned something. There we go. Do we want to put a little ripple kind of out across some of our still water here, just to give it the idea there's some motion? You can if you like. You don't have to. Keep those pretty well horizontal if you do them. Is a suggestion. And we're just gonna just barely, I am barely touching the canvas with this paint. I just want the canvas to grab, just a whisper of this paint of a highlight, and just let it drag and break. I have to go back and kiss it again just because my tendency of uniformity strikes again. That's okay. I know it happens. I'll just come back in, sometimes with the small edge of the knife, and just ever so delicately, just here and there, just touch it ever so gently again. Just wanting to interrupt it, just here and there. Change it a little bit. I don't want to ruin it. That's not the goal. The goal is just to make it all play nicer together. So we're sneaking in waterline. Scrub that in horizontal, even as I'm coming down my canvas. Don't want a super bold waterline on this side. Not my idea for this one. If it is for yours, by all means, your painting is yours, as it should be. Don't do a knockoff of somebody else's. Maybe use theirs as an idea, sure. Yeah, inspiration, reference, you bet. Make it yours, though. Make it yours. Put in a few of this little grassier things. It likes this shadier side of our river. It's going to grow like kudzu in Mississippi over here. Watch this. And we'll put some tree stuff on top of that. Probably cover most of that, so don't worry about what I just got a little crazy with. That's okay. Yeah, we're definitely put on some dark there. Good. Here we go. Rolling right along. I'm going to peek at the camera, see what time we're at. How long have I been rambling along here? 48 minutes. How's their picture doing? Picture seems to be doing well. So we're going to just finish ourselves right off here. And we want a big tree going up this way. And it'll come down this way. And we'll have it land kind of on a little point there. And then that'll just be that for our big tree on this side. Have that baby just go right on off the canvas there, huh? Get a tree trunk in there. You can do this with a script liner brush. You can keep going with the fan brush like we've used so far. I'm kind of feeling this sort of tree. A little more tree trunk than that. There we go. that's enough tree trunk. We'll put some cool highlights. I want to put some more branches on this one with a script liner brush and thin down paint as well. And let's keep going on our right side. Gonna make some good ground cover, cool bushes. How about some green? Let's add some red. That makes a wonderful brown, of course. Keep adding some green, some other whites. I just want some different colors down here. Just a few different colors. Just to put in a little different type of foliage here. Everything has its own place in our little forest. Sure it does. Different types. Oh, look how far sometimes it'll let you keep on going with bushes and things. Well, maybe we'll just do that with our corner there, and then we'll just cap it in with a cool tree. I like where that just lucked into, man. Don't discredit happy accidents, not at all. And here, let's maybe just have a tiny little, kind of a little washout shore. What if this is all we got here? Why not? We don't know. I don't anyway. Mother Nature ain't got to ask me what she wants to do. Not at all. We'll just sit here and watch. Dig that. See if we still like it when we step back. Yep. Put a little sandy highlight on it, a little more white, a little more brown, a little more dark sienna, a little better mix so it's not quite as streaky, not as sharp. Just play with it. This is a situation where it's good to play with your food, your toy, whatever. Just try it. Just try it. Try it. You'll be able to feel it. You know, something I've done, and I don't know why every now and then I hesitate to do things like this, because when I do them, and I remember to do them, people give such positive feedback about it. But in some classes, I'll ask at the beginning for everybody just to close their eyes. And I'm not going to do something weird. It's just to set the tone and expectation of having a great experience, but really more importantly, protecting our environment in the classroom from any negative comments. And it's not because, we're going to say that to ourselves, whether we say it out loud or not. That's not the point. But what we don't often realize is what our comments do to somebody else. And it may have nothing to do with each other. And that's kind of the point. That's why we've got to protect that environment. And man, people really got it. And when you have your eyes closed, or take away any one of your senses, at least for me, the others get better. And so when I close my eyes and I can just sort of take a deep breath, get the focus and whatever is going on squirrely inside my head, get it to just ease a little bit and take that focus off of me and be thinking of what am I, just the moment, just you hear better. Balance changes when your eyes are closed. Oh, everything does. It's just, man, a lot of good things happen when our eyes close because we have to see in another way. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. All right, let's quit our rambling and make some forward progress here. I'm ready to wrap this one up. Here comes paint thinner, script liner brush. Oh, let's get some brown. This is going to be our dark mix. So it's got brown, it's got the sap green, probably some dark sienna. That's fine. I'm just going to do some branches. Just some quick branches. So I made it thin like ink. So I could just come up here and put in a few branches. We're going to cover a lot of these with highlights, and that's totally fine. We really don't need a lot of them here. I like to put a few little sticks and, oh, are they antlers? Who knows? Just a few little things out of the edge of the water. To me, it just adds a nice little neat layer, makes it feel a whole lot closer to us. there's going to be any out there, I just make them real small. Again, it just starts drawing our attention in a little different way. Yeah, we're going to need a big tree here. A couple of them, I think. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So let's get some good pops of color right there. There's our bright color. Let's add more crimson, more liquid white. So we've got a nice amount of yellow in here already. I'm really going to add some alizarin crimson to make a peachy, somewhere between peach and orange and yellow and crimson and all of that. So that's where we're going. Let's see what we got. Is it too pink? Oh, no such thing. No such thing. Cool. Yeah, well, we're totally cool with a bright, bright bell ringer kind of color. How about that? Dig that. I love seeing those branches just underneath, those little tiny whispers of an idea. Just cool. Love that. All right, let's get some green highlight down here on the ground. Get these feet planted real good underneath our tree. Leave ourselves a little bit of dark area. Kind of just softens the way that will come down towards the water a little bit. So that's how it makes me feel. Let's sneak in some shore down here. So we've got our land captured. Grab a little bit of reflection first if we want to. And who doesn't want to? We always want reflection, don't we? A little bit down from our embankment there, bank, riverbank, shoreline, mud, dirt, whatever we call it. Gentle, gentle, gentle. All right. Nobody likes whistling except the whistler, so why on earth did I do that? Sorry about that. Let's get some shoreline there on that side. Just moving some liquid white out into a useful area. Kind of make this point a little sandy and muddy out here by this kind of reflection that we got. That works for me. Move it on down a little bit. Keep getting a little bit more water line under here. See, I don't mind it just coming down to grasses like that. I love a little marshy area that does that. That's totally good with me. Let's get a little bit of our bright kind of neon grass out here at the end. That just sort of seems like it likes that real moist part of the riverbank area there, huh? A little back here. We'll just be able to see a little bit of that growing in there. Just kind of completes the feel. And we're going big tree. We may even put a little log in the water down here. Bob actually did that. That was pretty cool. He took a, I don't remember exactly how he did it, but he kind of just made a little bit of a floater in the water there. Not like a Baby Ruth in a swimming pool. Not like that. That's not what you're shooting for on a gentle floating river experience. Just changing the flavor of my green here. Kind of green it. More green instead of that neon-y kind of color. More yellow and white in this, so it's all right. I just wanted something a little bit different. Just to dance in here on our little, whatever this is, log, muddy area, little shallow. Alligator's back, who knows? Then we'll sneak in a little water line on this side of it as well. Just kind of sets it in there. Finishes the edge for us a little bit. Again, sets it in there, sets it in there. Big trees, couple highlights, nap time. How's that sound? Sold. All right, dark color, brown, green. You've heard this before today. Bulldoze. Color scraped together so we've got enough. Excuse me, scratchy nose there. And let's have a big tree branch go like that. But we're going to make this even stronger. This is a big tree. Told you, he's a big tree. Shall we have it have a friend branch kind of? Maybe it got stepped on and split. Growing in two separate directions. That'll happen from time to time. Not just for trees. You've got some shake in your hand, you will make beautiful tree branches. Don't fight it. Work with it. Let it happen for you. Paint's not coming right off your brush. Work with the consistency of how the mix of the paint thinner and the paint is, because a thin paint will always stick to a thick paint. So it can only be one of a couple of culprits if you're having any troubles with it at all. Don't be afraid to have your branches go out and across other things or even look broken. I like to have them go right out over water like that. Oh, it just gives us more depth, more interest. Just delicious. Cool. We may not even put but a few sparse leaves on that one. Let's have one more tree over here. And boy, this video has turned out quite a bit longer than the norms, but that's okay. Well, you know what? If we're going to put some branches on that, let's do it. How about kind of a bright yellowy peachy that we were using before? I like this. So I can get just a little more of that yellow without the green. Can I do it? We'll see. Close. Yeah, we'll just it's just got a few little yellow stringers, few little yellow leaves still holding on. Doesn't need a lot, does it? I kind of like that with just one tree over there. I was going to put another one, but I think I'm going to leave it. We're just going to finish off the ground cover there. that's how you feel, go with that. I haven't had that feeling lead me wrong yet. So let's put in some stuff that's getting a little bit brighter pop of light out here. And we'll put some darker ones underneath it. Darker, 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 darker. Let's take a peek at this one through the old viewfinder. Oh, I like how simple this one is. Let's park this one here. You've hung with me for this hour and 6 or 7 minutes, I think it is, if the counter stays that long. My goodness. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope your day is full and you are participating. And I love you. See you next time.